I'm Matthew Wu, a gastroenterologist at the University of Calgary. On behalf of my co-author, Dr. Christopher Andrews, I would like to thank Gastrointestinal Endoscopy for inviting us to talk about a recent review paper published in GIE titled Implications of Cannabis Use on Endoscopic Sedation. Cannabis continues to be the most common illicit substance worldwide. Over the recent years, there has been a move towards increasing liberalization of cannabis use. As a matter of fact, here in Canada, we've seen a 4% increase in self-reported cannabis use over the past year, the period of which encompasses legalization, which occurred in October of 2018. This increased use should come as no surprise to gastroenterologists. Anecdotally speaking, many in our group have observed the increased sedation requirements in frequent cannabis users who undergo endoscopic procedures, which include EGD and colonoscopy. Most commonly in our center, adequate endoscopic sedation is achieved using a combination of fentanyl, a short-acting opioid, midazolam, a short-acting benzodiazepine, and Benadryl, an antihistamine with strong sedating properties, which is commonly used as an adjunct sedative. This increased sedation requirement is likely multifactorial. We have long known that regular alcohol and opioid use poses challenges to sedation. Unfortunately, likely owing to the recent status of cannabis as a controlled substance, there have been very few well-designed studies examining the effect of cannabis on human physiology. Animal studies have demonstrated a potential interaction between cannabis receptors and hippocampal GABA receptors, which may explain the increased tolerance to midazolam and propofol we see. Older studies examining the effect of THC on healthy volunteers have commented on cannabis receptor-mediated activation of the sympathetic nervous system, which may further explain why these patients may be quite tachycardic and tremulous on arrival to the endoscopy suite. Finally, cannabis has inherent anticholinergic properties which may have undesirable reactions, which include paradoxical agitation, if combined with antihistamines. The bottom line is that the bulk of literature examining the effect of cannabis on sedation are case series, and furthermore, very few have dealt with endoscopic sedation specifically. Recently, a group in Grand Junction, Colorado, published a retrospective review on 250 patients who underwent sedated endoscopy by a single operator, and found that 25 patients who reported regular cannabis use required 14% more fentanyl, 20% more midazolam, and 220% more propofol to achieve optimum sedation. The study, we believe, is the first to comment on, in a pragmatic fashion, the increased sedation required for cannabis users undergoing endoscopic procedures. While this was a retrospective study that didn't use well-defined clinical endpoints for adequate sedation, and there was no standard measure of cannabis use preventing us from establishing a dose-response relationship, this represents a step in the right direction. For this reason, we chose the thinking outside the box format. We would like to see more well-designed prospective studies examining this important topic. As the prevalence of cannabis use increases, the number of cannabis users who undergo sedated endoscopy will no doubt increase, and this is a knowledge gap that is crucial to address. So, what can we as clinicians do? Moving forward, we can start with a more detailed inquiry of habits beyond simply, do you smoke? Which patients may assume only refers to tobacco products and cigarettes. Furthermore, this query does not capture other routes of cannabis use which are becoming more common, including vaping and ingestion. Fortunately, with increased legalization and acceptance, patients will hopefully be more open to discussing their cannabis use. We must be cognizant of the increased sedation requirements and the possibility of paradoxical agitation with antihistamines in patients who use cannabis to undergo endoscopic procedures. Thank you.